Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Thomas. This is Tenoda Sticky Moon, and welcome to Star Trek Armada II. Oh, this is a childhood classic for me. I used to adore playing this game, and you know what? To me, it is Age of Empires 2 in space. And the great thing I find about this is just an old school RTS. You know, an old real-time strategy game that even if you're not a big sci-fi fan, even if you're not a fan of Star Trek, in fact, you can still enjoy this game. It's just good fun to play, and it plays very much the same sort of style that you might be used to from an old RTS. It was released in 2001, so just a couple of years after Age of Empires 2, and it kind of fitted that era pretty well. Actually, as I said, you don't really need to be a Star Trek fan to enjoy this, but realistically, Star Trek fans haven't always had the best set of games, and actually, this is definitely one of the better series as they go, albeit things like the Bridge Crew in VR nowadays is just hilarious, good fun. There's some great stuff on YouTube for that. But today we'll be looking at more of the old school stuff for a little while. And Star Trek Armada 2 really holds a nice little place in my heart. So we're going to be doing some of the campaigns. You have a few of the campaigns here with the Federation campaign, then the Klingon and the Borg. They have actually added Species 8472 and the Cardassians in from the original game. So you've got those, add a bit more variety in, and you know there's a few more ship classes as well, so that's great. And actually Species 8472 work very differently, so we'll get to them at some point. But really the way these episodes are going to go is we will do mission by mission with the different campaigns here, and we'll just see what comes along. Last thing I will say is you might well get a little bit of crackly audio occasionally. This game is notoriously hard to find and notoriously hard to play. It doesn't basically work at all on modern computers whatsoever. I've got this running on Windows 7 at the moment, and it's still a little bit fiddly. It's just from an old disc we've had, obviously, for about 2 decades now. So, yeah, apologies if you get the odd little crackle, but this game is quite hard to find nowadays. You're lucky if you still have a copy lying around. So, I'm just going to get headed in to the Federation campaign here in the first mission, which is Invasion. And quite why Picard is not reading out this particular intro, I do not know. He will frequently be talking to us throughout the game, so yeah, a bit bizarre they left this one out, but there we go. To continue a mission to explore strange new worlds, seek a new life, new civilizations, to boldly go, etc. It's the classic, you should really be doing this intro.
Captain's log, stardate 54522.2. We once again find ourselves preparing for war, following the discovery of a Borg colony in the regular Badlands. The Badlands is an inhospitable area of space located at the far edge of the Federation, filled with mostly uninhabitable worlds, asteroid belts and nebulas. It has no real value. So why would the Borg colonize a world there? How did they get so deep into the Alpha Quadrant undetected? Starfleet, in desperate need of answers, has dispatched the Enterprise along with several other Federation ships to investigate this latest Borg threat.
Right, so that gives us just a little bit of a context to the game here. But can I just say, before we get going, how pretty does this game look? I mean, this is 2001, remember? This is almost 2 decades ago now. And it still looks quite pretty realistically. It's not quite modern Stellaris, I'll give it that, but a little bit like, you know, Rome Total War. This is aged pretty well, I'd like to say. It's aged with a certain charm, at least. And actually, I'll show you off a little bit of a thing here, but this game does have a lovely little 3D view here. It's just beautiful. You can really get up close and personal in some of these battles. Really get to have a nice look at it. So there'll be a nice Akira there. The USS Matthias, or Marthias. No, we're going to go with the Matthias, I don't care. That's a random little R. It's now a T. Marvellous. Yeah, so that's a nice little feature they've added. It's just a bit more on the 3D side. I'll get into why that's helpful later. Let's just get some of our early stuff done. A bit like you normally get with any sort of you know, real-time strategy.
Returning to base.
Get a bit of scouting done first, and we can just obviously set it to, you know, run away when the enemy appears, which is always a useful thing. Don't explore our base. I know what our base looks like. Right, you just go and wander off. And actually, you'll notice there he is warping off, which I don't think was actually in the original game of Star Trek Armada.
Borg.
onto the
Lower
Borg.
your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Right, so first encounter with the Borg there. Ooh, a few ships entering our system. So we'll see that we're already actually getting picked up by a few of the Borg ships here. And for our first mission, this does throw you straight into it. I mean, you're not really ever going to really lose. The star bases are absolute just death fortresses on this. They will annihilate anything that comes our way. But they are, yeah,
Set a new course.
they don't muck around. There are actually quite a few ships that are going to come attack us in this. Unlike the first mission on Star Trek Armada, where not a lot really happened. I'm actually going to get a second mine station down here just because I might as well mine the hell out of the dilithium here. And that's one of our resources. It's not quite like, can you... No, don't chase after them. Don't chase after them. Now, yeah, you'll see that our Galaxy class and Sovereign class here are charging off, and I really want to be telling my Enterprise not to do that. Go up a card here. Yeah, high on the special weapon autonomy, which is nice, and low on the movement autonomy. So he's basically just going to hang around here. Maybe just guards this base, I don't know. Do something like that. He can use his Combine Reflector, which is just...
We have completed a mission objective.
Oh, lovely. Yes, he can use that to defend himself when he needs to. Orbital Processing Facility. Marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. So, that is very helpful. So, yeah, obviously, we've got our resources here. We've got our dilithium pumping up. It's rumping up. Yes. It's not quite stylized. There aren't quite, a whole massive
complete.
UI at the top here, just invading all of our face. But, no, it's not too shabby. We only have this, and the metal is a new one added in Armada 2. We have the planets, which I think are new as well. It's been a long time since I played Star Trek Armada 1. I need to get that one sorted out for me too. So it's actually probably been 15 years since I played that. I'm pretty sure there were no planets in that. So yes, you are mining that, which is just marvellous, as are you. I'm going to get my starbase to pump out a couple extra mining freighters. In fact, normally 3 each works quite nicely. Yep, these Akira should be doing their job, but there we are. Apparently not. Apparently not. Right, Galaxy class, can you go and guard the orbiting facility? That would be marvellous. So yes, a bit like any kind of real-time strategy game, any old RTS, you just want to build up your resources first, and then we're just going to go and smash them. Get myself... Actually, no, I already have a shipyard. I don't know why I'm not pumping out any ships yet. So we'll get out some Defiance. Let's get 5 or so for now. Get some early ships to help us out. As we pump out a few Defiant classes, they are certainly better than they were in the original game. They actually have some photon torpedoes now, and hopefully they won't just miss with every single phaser shot like they used to. But we, yeah, they also did the antimatter mines, which are far... Well, we don't have it yet. We need to get ourselves down the research station. And we're going to need a bit of money for that and an awful lot of time. What do I need? 300 crew. I got that. 1,000 metal. About to get that. Depends if the ship takes up the metal or not. It probably will. Classic RTS problems.
Confirmed, Starfleet.
There we go. Override the ships. I think we just finished them anyway, which is just lovely. We have actually lost our Venture class, so I'm going to build a few Venture classes just to kind of scout around, which will be just lovely. So yeah, we're just doing this classic RTS kind of thing right now of just building up our base, a few defensive turrets, just so I'm not watching every corner of the world endlessly. But yeah, just massively overdoing all of our resources here. Bit like a classic kind of... I always find in RTS is if you know, against the AI, if you can survive the first 10 minutes and like any early attacks, then you'll be fine. You know, you do tend to under-resource yourself at the start in terms of defense, or at least I do. I tend to have a bit too small of an army, and sometimes you can get picked on for that. But if you survive the start, it should not be any problems at all. Right, we're going to send our Venture classes out, high movement autonomy. Yeah, we'll just keep them on that. Why not? Go, head off. Explore, says. Explore, venture into the world. It's almost as if they thought about that name now, isn't it?
Status report.
Marvellous. Shouldn't you be a little bit more over here, mate? keep yourself safe. And yes, this is obviously
a dangerous
USS
nebula.
Enterprise E. The ships always do is just enter dangerous nebulas. It's going to kill every
You're
one of
sustaining
them.
heavy damage from a nebula.
And there we are. Absolutely useless. He's already dead. Straight into the nebula. Yeah, the AI isn't
We have
great.
entered a dangerous nebula.
And this guy's done the same. Oh, a Ferengi ship is straight on it. I would suggest that you don't go and do that, sir. I'm going to go send my Defiance to go and save this lad. Yeah, so the Ferengi are around, and they will go and pick up your ships.
Enemy
Yep.
engaged.
Never forget the 34th rule of
No.
Peace is good for business.
Peace isn't good for business, and if you do that again, sir, then you will simply die a poor man. There's no way you will enter the Vault of Eternal Well, no, you will enter the Vault of Eternal Destitution, sir, if you do that once more. Sod off. Sod off. Now, you're lucky you're alive, sir. Keep on exploring.
That's affirmative.
Keep on exploring. Yeah, if you kill the Ferengi, I seem to remember that does something to how they then trade with you if you use the trading station later. So we probably don't want to attack them if we don't need to. But they will go and pick up any salvageable stuff that's lying around. I think this guy over here is about to find their base, because I recall it is over here. At least one of them. Nope, hasn't quite got there yet. Oh no, he's about to get shot. No, he has actually run away. Some interceptors coming towards us. Yes, right. Our research station is now built. We can't actually do any research on it on this episode, on the particular mission even. But what it does do is allow us to get some colony ships out, which we need to go and colonize the planet. And we'll get ourselves a few Akiras just for some defense. The Akiras are quite... well, they're the best ships we'll be able to recruit for this particular episode, or this particular mission. I keep calling it an episode. For this mission. Well, for this episode and this mission. It's the only thing we'll be able to get, or the best thing we'll be able to get. So we'll be relying on Defiance and on good old Akiras. They're not too bad, the Akiras, but they are really one of our medium kind of ships. And they're just not as good as they were on the first game, really. Everything's a lot more squishy on this.
Starship
Yeah,
complete.
I think we'll get to that at some point, but you know, I don't know. It's one of those things where on the first game everything was kind of special. It's kind of unique. Every ship was this kind of really interesting,
Starship
unique
complete.
thing, and they were all quite tough.
All sections stand by.
This game, however, everything kind of just gets destroyed. It's all
Station
smashed
complete.
up, and everything just gets destroyed in like 1 or 2 hits.
Starship complete.
It's probably just as well it went around that way round, because on this game now we have our 3D effect. Let's look at a lovely 3D effect of the planet here. Just marvellous. Admiring the
Starship
planet.
complete.
Yeah, because we've got a 3D effect, it means that actually Big Fleets works much better for this game, because now the ships can go around each other, up and over each other, and not
All work crews
simply
report to
crash
station.
into each other. So actually, that would be a disaster in Star
Complete.
Trek Armada.
Insufficient
We're already
metal.
out of our metal, but we do just have a new facility built now, so that should suit us well. Just build a couple more phaser
Confirmed,
turrets. Insufficient metal for the extra starbase. Yes, you can see some latium over here. I'm not sure we actually even need it for this mission, in all honesty. But we might want to trade with it if we get the trading station. I can't remember if we can on this or not. We need 2,000 for starbase, and starbases are absolutely
construction
brutal on
commencing.
this. Yeah, they just destroy everything. I've got to leave that for a minute. So, yeah, we're just pumping up all of our things right now, and we can see actually the Ventures have done quite a good job of exploring most of the space.
Enemy
He
engaged.
says as one gets killed, the detector won't kill it. That's
Bring
kind of
up
their
local
scout.
star charts.
But yeah, in standard RTS fashion, it's good to know where your bases are. They're probably in these bits that we don't see, where they got killed and destroyed. So, I think we're done building our Akiras, so the starbase should be ready momentarily, or we should have enough money to build it. Yeah, one thing you don't get on this, which I guess is just something to do with the era this was made, you don't really get like you don't really get a building queue,
Station
which is a
complete.
bit of a shame. But I suppose that's kind of to be expected for an older
Confirmed,
game.
Starfleet.
It's probably just a quality of life thing that came later on. This is 2001, remember, so
Station
can't really
construction
make too many
commencing.
complaints. I'm just going to add myself a
Crews
sensor
report to
turret,
station.
a sensor array. These are obviously much more
Confirmed,
helpful when
Starfleet.
you're facing someone like the Klingons or the Romulans who are
Station
going to...
construction
Well, no, the
commencing.
Romulans really who are going to cloak. Actually, Cardassians on this cloak an awful lot. Not quite sure why they have cloaking devices. Maybe it's something to do with their alliance with the Romulans in this game, but I don't know. Bit of an odd one. Not really traditionally ones for that, but there we are. The central area just gives a little bit of a further view ahead anyway, and yeah. Just I like to see things a bit like when I play Rome, and I just like spies everywhere, sensor turrets everywhere. But essentially, we're just getting ourselves ready for the start of it here, and the colony ship can go and get ourselves some more crew, because that's another one of our few resources we have. Yeah, as I said, the Latium we're not going to need for much, but I can mine that with our station here, so we'll be able to make use of that very, very soon. This isn't one of those missions where we're going to struggle for resources, so I'm really just going to keep on aggressively going forward here. Actually, that isn't actually what I meant. But we will put another sensor turret down here, and we'll start going straight towards this. Actually, no, let's just go straight and build this. We might as well, but I might send a few more Akiras to go and help them out. Where are my Akiras? They're over here. Just lovely.
Armed and ready.
Let us send them to guard our ship. So yes, I actually know some hotkeys on here. My brother's always complaining to me when I'm playing Rome that I don't hotkey enough things on the main map. There we are. I'm racking through these objectives. I haven't even looked at this with you yet. So yeah, now we've pretty much done the the kind of set things up. Colonize the planet. It's new. Build the orbiting facility. Metal's new. Build the research facility, which took 10,000 years. Yeah, you see a few more incursions there, but I've got my starbase kind of blocking up between the planet and the asteroids here. The planets, you can see here on the minimap, actually, they have this sort of purple glow around them. That is where the warp speed can't work, which just means that obviously we are able, well, we're able to basically kill anything that's going to come through this way. I probably just need to plug this little gap down this end as well. But honestly, it shouldn't be too much of a problem on this mission here. In fact, I might as well get another mining station down in this kind of an area. Just lovely. Just lovely. Let me know what the sound's like, by the way. I have just a little fiddle with the sound levels. I know some of the effects when you're kind of clicking on things like this. There's lots of little effects on this. I find them nostalgic, but they might be slightly over the top for some of you. So just let me know if in the comments if there's any problem with that. Yeah, we're about to get a classic problem here, I think. No, not quite. The ship's often when you guard just get in the way of the construction site. But there we are. No, we're all right. We're perfectly fine there. I think I'm sending another construction ship if it doesn't die in the nebula. I'm sending that over here. I don't know why it's not got anyone to guard it, but I'm obviously a fool. Let's put ourselves a sensor turret here. And for a first mission, it obviously does have quite a few little choke points. The game does try and give you like asteroid belts and nebulas to kind of create choke points you'd get on sort of Age of Empires 2, where obviously you'd have, you know, kind of, well, you know, rock formations or water or all that kind of thing. You know, space is obviously a big empty vacuum of a place, so it has all these lovely things to actually, you know, make the environment more interesting. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Make the environment more interesting and just kind of, you know, keep you busy or keep you, I don't know. Just kind of keep the environment interesting, and I think there's a nice variety of nebulas here to do that. I could go and mine this moon as well, but honestly, I think with this one here, it'll be just, it's not really necessary. And over here, I'm going to build myself a third starbase. Obviously, the starbases are just basically a huge wall against anything in their path. And with this little choke point here, it's kind of a perfect place to put it. There are a few gaps, but they're not really going to attack in big enough forces for that to matter on this occasion. Let's just get a couple of you. Yeah, let's just get a couple of you to go and guard this one, please. Nope. Guard the ship. Well done. The USS Wasserman. How marvellous, how marvellous. Yes, so we'll just give ourselves a couple random defence turrets here. Honestly, though, they're not going to attack in big force. This will just mean that we're free to build up our resources. And even building that starbase, you can see here, I've just got a ridiculous amount of all of my resources now. So I'm just going to do the classic kind of RTS thing of I'm going to start pumping out lots and lots of ships, and fleets of Akiras is what we are going to be doing today. That will just be lovely. So they can all come over here and congregate. You can already see that they are already
Starship
doing that over
complete.
here. And why the mouse is disappearing on the edge there, but oh well. There we are, just lovely. Beautiful. Actually, we haven't really discussed the USS Enterprise here. Obviously, we've got Picard over here, so we are very much based in the next generation kind of era, very much in the kind of most forefront era of Star Trek, since they seem to keep going back in time with their stories and not actually doing anything new. I suppose, though, like all good stories, you always think is this the most interesting part of their life, and if not, right about the most interesting part of their life. So perhaps, you know, the whole Dominion War era is where Star Trek likes to keep. Oh, there's Star Wars there. Oh, that would have left a lot of comments. I get, you know, I guess it's the most interesting era for it to be looking at. So there we go. But yeah, we're very much in that era, and obviously Picard is not supposed to die. We've got to keep him alive for the story. And in Star Trek Armada 1, that'd be fine. Actually, Star Trek Armada 1, you need to use your kind of hero ships, as it were. And I know it's classic of RTS, really, to have your hero ship, but or your hero character. But on normally they'd be very, very good, and you kind of need them. And certainly in Star Trek Armada, you definitely need them. But yeah, on this, you don't really need him to win, and to be honest, he's so brittle. But he's not that brittle because he is a sovereign class, and they are quite strong. But so that obviously the strongest ships that the Federation can get, albeit I can't get them in this. But yeah, they're not. As I said, everything's a bit more brittle in this. It's basically like a battle in this is like throwing a load of china cups around a store full of balls and tea. I don't know. You know, balls in a teacup and a china store, all that stuff. That's what I mean. Yeah, so basically ships get destroyed very easily. We're going to have fleets of Akira. I'm pretty sure I can assign them a number. There we are, fleet number 1, which is missing a couple ships, just to be annoying. But we're just going to build ourselves a couple death fleets, and those death fleets will just do the job. I have got an officer limit to prevent me from, you know, massively overdoing it. But but there we are. We can just get ourselves building up here. That'd be more than we can probably get. But at this point, that is absolutely fine. We've pretty much done all the mining we can, and we're going to go and start to clear off 1 or 2 of the bases here, which will just be lovely. Let's just leave the odd phaser turret around. Takes up an officer or 2, but just gives you a bit of an eye. I believe it is time to take a little offensive to them, so let's get fleet number 1 over down here. And we can come and clear off this bit over here. And likewise, actually by just clicking on the mini-map, I'll be able to send them at warp speed, which is probably going to be more sensible. So let's go and send my 2 fleets in. And we can absolutely swamp them. Now, the Akiras are pretty good, but they're nowhere near as good as they once were. Yes, the medium-class ships aren't great, but this is the best we got today. It's best not wander towards a star base, guys.
All sections stand by.
And we can take out a few things one at a time. There we are. Fleet number 2, fleet number 1. And it, you know, they are sensible enough even back in 2001 to give me, oh, this is fleet number 1, this is fleet number 2. I can use that to help me. So we are going to very soon come across the Borg. Is there a Nexus over here? I'm pretty sure there is. It's basically their starbase, but we might as well attack their attempts to get some extra resources down. I think there is a Nexus still over here. I think it's right in the corner, just to help you miss it. And if you do leave them one, you know, it's a bit like on Age of Empires. If you leave them one little villager, they will. Oh, there is no way they're not going to suddenly have a whole new base here in about 5 minutes' time. Do they not have a Nexus down here? Interesting. Will you attack this already, sirs? Right, as we start to storm the second base, we're just going to pick up a few little things as we enter. Ah, we've got ourselves a Class K planet over here. Bit of a frozen world. Just lovely. And Fleet 1, you need to get yourself up here too. Fleet 2, bring yourself over here, and let's start to clear them off, because there's definitely a few things over here to destroy. Straight into their main base. Just stay out of the range of the Nexus. Stay out of the range of the Nexus, since you brought yourself there. Where is Fleet 1? Fleet 1, you need to get here now. Fleet 2 just needs to hover at this end and try and take out these ships. So I just wandered a little bit too near. Let's stick by the Tachyon Nebula over here. Just yeah, lovely little flicker of light on it. There we go. You guys, if you just stay... Oh, you've got yourself into range. Yeah, you'll see that'll pick us off almost in... Well, almost straight away.
Armed and ready.
Right, where is Fleet 1?
We have entered a dangerous.
Where is the first fleet?
Officers. Starship complete. Insufficient officers.
Oh my days, they're just sitting in the nebula. Go and help the fleet. We're being shredded here. Oh, you haven't got to play this game for a while. I've made some silly mistake, I think, here. Let's get a few extra men onto that Akira there.
Section standby.
Probably just killed those people, but there we go. Right, if the first fleet would like to turn up, then we might be able to do something. I don't care about the Latinum. Right, send Fleet 3. I made an absolute hash of this attack. Right, these guys are going to die because they... Well, they sort of deserve it. Let's separate and give him an extra target. Ah, there's Fleet number 1. Are you Fleet number 1? You are now. Right. Take out the Nexus. Perfect, right. Here we go. A lot of flashing lights at the moment. I need an epilepsy warning for this. Righty, Laura. Need to do the swinging of the screen. There. That's a bit better, isn't it? Where are the rest of my ships? Are we all dead? I think we're all a bit dead, aren't we? Wow. Well, we've just about done it now. Where's the third fleet? Get on with it, lads. I really didn't do this very well, but there we go. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's a bit of fun. Here's the third fleet. Yeah, you can see all the ships rebuild themselves. This is what I mean. They are very paper-like. I've been a complete numpty in this mission, frankly. But there we are. It's not the most difficult thing in the world, but it is actually a fair, it's a fair little bit of an attack that you've got to do in this first mission here. It's not really a joke. You do need to be pumping out. You do need a massive resource. You do need to be pumping out all of the ships. You do need to have fleets being built as you go. At this point, do we have any more over here? We do indeed. Just go straight up there, lads. In fact, this shipyard, can you also go here? Build a load more of our lovely Akiras. In the meantime, we're just going to be pulling them into that base over there. We have destroyed at this point. We won. We won. I only made a massive hash of it. We've only lost like all the ships. I've probably been a little bit blasé, to be honest with you. As ever with any game, the first time you play it when you're commentating, you end up not really paying as much attention as you maybe would and do stupid things. That's just excuses now. I am actually a race car driver in my spare time, which is obviously where I get my excuses from.
Starship.
Right, you are now all Fleet 1. Because there's nothing else left. Probably should take out the assembly matrix because that would be really helpful to stop them, you know, spawning new ships. You just finished that thing off. What is it? That's the modification center. That should go down almost instantaneously. Right, this time we're going to do it properly. So, fleet number 1, you go in. Fleet number 2, you go in. And fleet number 3, you start heading in because the reinforcements would just be lovely. So, fleet 1, if you like to bring yourself near that planet. Fleet 2, you like to bring yourself near that planet. Let's go and do this together, shall we? Lovely. You go and clear off that little cube there, or the sphere even.
Fire.
Perfect. We probably should just attack those lads, but we're going to, are we? No. We'll attack the things that can't shoot us. Ah, there we go. There's the third fleet. Perfect. All 3 fleets then get attacking the starbase. At this point, we'll just watch a big blaze of shields go down because that's basically all we get to watch. And we are nice radioactive nebula. Not too shabby. Yeah, it's a nice little view here. Nice little view. I think this time we may have done it just a little bit better than the first. We've pretty much done it at this point. I think we need to wipe the Borg off their planet, don't we? Is that this one here? It might be this one over here.
Make it so. All Borg ships and stations have been eliminated from this system.
Marvellous. Apparently we lost a planet. When did that happen? Okay.
The Borg threat to the regular
There we go.
Badlands has been eliminated, and Starfleet is dispatching additional ships to secure the region. We have also discovered a unique type of nebula near the site of the former Borg colony. Sensor scans of this nebula reveal a high concentration of tachyon particles and the presence of residual transwarp signatures. It may be that the Borg have developed a new type of transwarp gate that allows them to travel greater distances than we ever thought possible. If this proves to be true, no planet in the Alpha Quadrant will be safe from their grasp. I fear this may be the case, as even now our base at Alpha Theta 6 is reporting contact with the Borg.
And that is it for the first episode there. The first mission, you can see there, my military might far beyond his. Did get a little bit of a score here. I lost 48 apparently. There we are. That was mostly in that horrendously fought battle. And a massively overdeveloped economy for me there. But you know what? These games are about those kind of economy. Oh, I forgot about this map, the little timeline map. Yeah, you see, even at the start, we are not in a poor position at all. We actually have a decent amount of power even right at the start. Apparently we lost a planet at the end. I don't know how that happened. There we are. It even has a lovely little ship list for them, which I think was slightly more meaningful in Armada 1 than this one. But there we go. Just lovely. So yes, that is our first mission of Star Trek Armada 2. We will be having this on the Thursday and Saturday slot for a little while at least. Yeah, it'll be fun just to explore this game. I'm going to play the missions a little bit. I might muck around on the single player stuff as well, but we will see all about that. In the meantime, though, there is Medieval 2 still going on, and Barbarian Invasion will very soon come back, and, well, I'll start that campaign again. Medieval 2 is coming to an end, so we will have Barbarian Invasion in a couple of weeks once Medieval 2 is finished. I have got to the point now where I have caught up to the Timurids attacking, so yeah, I'm very much ready at this point to get to the very last stages of that. So Total War will be continuing, do not fear that. But I wanted to branch out and try some of this old classic real-time strategy. This is very much a prelude to Rome Total War for me, because Rome Total War came out just when Age of Empires 3 came out, same time as that. And Rome very much won out. But Star Trek Armada 2, I don't know, I always kept playing that one. Was always a good love of mine. So I'm going to have fun exploring this a little bit more. Do let me know if you've enjoyed this little foray into some nostalgia here. Hope I haven't offended too many people who know their Star Trek much better than I. I know a little bit, but honestly, I know enough to be able to, dabble my feet into the game and, know who the various races are. I know the odd bit. But to be honest, that shouldn't be the end of the world. Anyway, I'm going to leave you here. For now, I'm Thomas, this is Notice to Hear It, and I've been playing Star Trek Armada 2, the Federation campaign. Thank you, and good night. Death and violence will come to you. This is a beautiful, beautiful town, by the way, guys. Let's go and smash it up. Dum tum ti 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 ti. How did you die? What is happening to my men? Steve! He was the one man who tried!